Two of the major banks among the names entering today's trading at all-time highs. Goldman and Morgan Stanley hitting some new milestones, getting a boost from being named lead bankers in that SpaceX IPO. Goldman, Jim, on Friday, $1,000 for the first time ever.
Yeah, I mean, Chuck just owns it. I'm thrilled with it. I think that they are. There's so much M&A about to happen, or happening, where people are really thinking about deals that I hadn't thought were possible. And IPO, these are just gigantic fees. And my hat's off to Morgan Stanley, too. They are doing an amazing job. Also with wealth management, they've got a very sticky business. Both Ted Pick, David, and Solomon are just
it's going extremely well. I made the point last week, of course, that Morgan Stanley would have been expected in many ways to have been the lead manager. Still don't know the full story there as to how Goldman was able to pull that off, given Morgan Stanley took the risk on that loan, the bridge loan that helped Elon Musk buy Twitter. Michael Grimes, their famous technology banker, came back to the firm, and yet they didn't get the lead manager role in the SpaceX IPO.
I don't have it, but I would say, Carl, these are head and shoulders above even JP Morgan right now. Very lean operations. The amount of business in Morgan Stanley is
Let's get the opening bell here on this Tuesday at the big board on Wall Street. It is MasterCard celebrating the anniversary of their listing on the NYSE. We'll talk to the CEO in the next hour. At the NASDAQ in Times Square, it's Rajaba, a provider of labor and corporate consulting services in Japan. And at SIBO in Chicago, it's SIBO Empower Scholars doing the honors here, Jim.
Young people, I've been struggling all weekend. Trying to get younger people involved. I think we're failing. I don't think we're reaching well enough. I don't think it's because companies are staying private too soon. That's all I hear that a lot. I think it has more to do with some sort of zeitgeist, some belief that there isn't really a hope to be able to do as well as our parents. I don't feel, obviously, I've been beneficiary of this year, but when I talk about stocks with younger people, Carl, they just look at me as if I am some sort of relic. They don't get any news from us that I can tell. And it is a challenge that bothers me endlessly. So I'm really glad that SIBO's doing what I think you have to do. You have to really reach out. You can't just say, hey, why don't they just come? Because like Dave and I talk about how much money people are making, it just doesn't seem to accrue to everybody. It seems to accrue to a tight group of people.
Well, given that the top 10% own almost all stocks and mutual funds, that would make some sense.
Yeah.
Well, that's very true, and I don't want to be too, you can be populistic about this, and it makes sense, but I do find that it is going to be valuable to see what happens with these
Trump accounts.
Which
are coming in. Oh, we don't have the countdown clock today.
Invest America accounts, yeah.
Again, I'm not Jackson Dart. I'm not.
The locker room's going to be interesting this fall.
Yeah, I've had a couple concussions, but that's about where we have in common.
Jim, you mentioned the banks, Goldman and Morgan Stanley. If we get somewhere on these negotiations, would you expect a sort of classic broadening into?
Absolutely, and immediately I think you're going to see interest rates go down, and I think that we saw Warsh already. We started hearing people say, you know what, they can cut rates. I think they will cut rates. I know that now the administration obviously won't cut, Peter Navarro into me talking about how oil comes down, you can cut rates. I do think that there's going to be BlackRock talking about rate cuts, and I think that you're going to hear those people, David, who are saying we're going to have rate hikes. They're going to be singing a new tune if oil collapses the way I think it could.
Wait, well, all right. Well, let's get to that as we take a look at the complex there in terms of the 10-year now at 4.483. The 30-year still above 5%. Oil is down this morning, but do you know something I don't in terms of where the progress is going to be made, whether significant progress really will be made in terms of reopening the strait?
Our president doesn't know, so I don't look to see that I know.
Okay.
I'm just saying that when I see oil come down, I see what happens with rates. That does give me hope that we're going to see a very big decline in interest rates. I know a lot of people feel it's going to take a long time to clean the strait, whatever. I think you're going to see a plummet in rates.
Atlanta Fed's looking at a 4% GDP number.
I've been wrong so many times. I think that there's a lot of problems with the economy. I really do. I mean, we had Doug Yearley on last week, and Doug executive chairman of a very good homeowner toll, which is for wealthy people, and they're still not doing that well. There is a part of the economy that does matter. I think that the loan losses are picking up. I think that the credit situation is getting tougher. I think that people now, you can say maybe at the pump, they're not going to be a stretch. But what I'm